Okay, guys, so we are back. I'm sorry about that. God damn it. I'm sorry about that, but we are back. Unfortunately, my internet died on me for some reason. But we are going to get back to the race, hopefully. Yeah, Stormy, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? Yeah, it's good now. My internet is back, but god damn it, man. That does never happen to me like this. Like, I usually, before the race, I reboot my modem and all that, and it prevents any issues. But today, like, the internet just came to zero. It wasn't even lagging or anything, just dropped to zero, and that was it. So, I'm going to try to get over the last couple laps of the race. Again, we were under rainy, heavily raining conditions. I couldn't get myself, I didn't know, of course, how long it was going to take until the end, but it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, that's for sure. So, we have Jensen leading the race. Let's get ourselves to the tires. It's still intermediates. Let's take a look through the order. We have Jensen leading the race, followed by Zor, who's right on his gearbox at the moment. Let's see who gets the better run out of there. Noidweight is still in P3, Black Reverse in P4, Value in the top 5. Evil Q, he hasn't been able to come up to the fin of the Red Bull. Then we have Videoton in 7th, Rat still in a good position for the top 10 in 8th, BTEC Sim Racer in 9th, Sticer just retired from the race in P10. Hopefully, he was the one who invited me. Hopefully, he didn't crash because of me. Hopefully. Let's, oh, sorry about that. But yeah, we have Dicer out of the race. Overspeed in 13th. Diary is closing the top 10. Kawe is down to 11th. Zor wasn't able to catch up to Jensen. So it's still 1-2 for those two at the moment. We're going to jump to Black Reverse, who's also very close to Noidorate. I don't know how the penalty situation might be for any of these drivers, but Black Reverse has been pressurizing Noidorate quite a lot, and this might be the day where Black Reverse gets himself a very good result. His first podium of the season would be very nice to see from the Belgium driver. Someone in chat is telling me Noidorate has a 5-second penalty, so if that's the case, Black Reverse might be on for his first podium of the season, which would be amazing. As Zor goes side by side with Jensen at this last chicane. Black Reverse also gets a 5-second stop and go penalty, and there goes the Frenchman past to the first place as Jensen gets himself in the pits. I don't know if he made a mistake and he's going to replace his front wing. I can't really tell at the moment, but it's going to be interesting to see if he's going for a set of full wets until the end of the race, or if he's, yes, he is going for the blue-walled full wet tires on his car and no wing replacement, but it does look to me like he has damage on the right side of his front wing. Now, he's going to get himself out of the pits. Value is also coming in for a set of full wets. I'm guessing some of these drivers, like Evil Kiwi for example, might be going to try and pull through on the intermediates. It's going to be interesting to see if the rain starts easing off a bit or not, because yeah, some of those guys are still on the full wet, some others are on the intermediates, and it's going to be rather interesting to see who is going to pit, because maybe if they stay on inters, maybe they don't have enough tire to take them to the end of the race. So as Diary gets another 5-second stop and go, another 5-second penalty, unfortunately for him. But yeah, currently Jensen is the leader out of full wets. Value in 7th is the second, and we have BTEC Sim Racer, Rat, Kawe, Diary, all on full wet tires. And so we're going to get ourselves to the battle between Noidorate and Black Reverse. The Force India is very close to the back of that black and yellow Renault, but not able to make any maneuvers at the moment. Evil Kiwi is 11 seconds behind, so you guys can see how much time he lost after losing the rear on the right-left combination right after the second DRS zone, unfortunately for him. It was corners 14 and 15 that put him out of the contention for the win. Zor gets himself a 3-second penalty. Neutherate got out of the markings there. I don't know if he gets any sort of penalty or a warning for that one. That was quite interesting. Yeah, he managed to put himself in the pit still. Zor is on a full wet set of tires. Let's see how it goes for Jensen. They're going to be, is he going to take the lead? I'm honestly not sure. But it's going to come out, it's going to be very close. Zor is still ahead. Let's see now who's going to be the last of the lap breakers into turn number 1. Zor can't do anything else but just stuck behind Jensen as he gets through to first place. So Jensen retakes the lead of this Grand Prix. Well done from him. Evil QE gets himself in the pits. Is Valo going to overtake him or not? That's going to be interesting to see. And no, maybe Valo had made some sort of mistake, but Evil QE got himself a place through that transition period. Is up to P6, and Videoton did not pit yet. He is on the intermediates in 4th place at the moment. That's going to be quite interesting. Black Reverse is almost, yeah, he's basically 15 seconds away from Neutherate, so Black Reverse had an awful mistake through that section, through that last lap, because he came into the pits right behind Neutherate, and either he got held up by some reason, maybe he got multiple stop and go penalties on his name, but yeah, or maybe he just spun because he lost a load of time to Neutherate as he was right on his gearbox on the approach to the previous lap. So we have Videoton now getting pressurized by Black Reverse. Of course, Videoton is brave for trying to handle these conditions on a mere set of intermediate tires. Although I don't know how smart that is, because unless Videoton has enough tire to make it to the end, it's quite a foolish mistake. Yeah, he's just delaying that one too much, and he's going to lose a bunch of time by doing that. So Black Reverse gets himself promoted to P4. He is, what, 5 seconds? Yeah, 4 seconds away, 4.5 seconds away from Neutherate. So it's going to, there go the chances of Black Reverse getting into a podium down the drain, unless Neutherate gets some penalties. As you guys can see, Valdo gets himself up to 6th after the pit stop from Videoton. BTEC Sim Racer gets through as well. Rat, I would say, is too far away, as Black Reverse most likely got a warning there because he got too much to the inside of turn 3. So we are going to jump to the battle for first place. Zor is on his McLaren number 13, right on the gearbox of Jason. He loses the rear. Whew, that was such a moment there from the McLaren driver. He managed to keep it off the wall. He managed to regain control of the car. But, unfortunately for him, he's now over 6 seconds away from Jensen, and he might have just gifted the win to the Danes. And if that happens, this is Evil QE's worst nightmare, actually, because Evil QE is, at the start of this race, he's been 3 points behind the championship leader Jensen. But Evil QE was doing very well. He was contesting for at least a podium, but then through the 14-15 corner variation, he lost the rear as it started to rain and he was still on the dry tires. He lost the rear spun, lost loads of time. He just a couple laps ago got himself back in the top 5. It's going to be interesting to see if he has the pace to catch Black Reverse. But Jensen, I would say, might have been gifted the win unless there are some time penalties to play their role in this race. Now, it's also going to be interesting because yes, Zor has been a bit more unstable through this car, or at least through what we can see on the cameras. It might be his car setup, might be his actual driving, but his car has been more wobbly out of corners than Jensen. So Jensen has been very composed. I don't know how much these two practiced the rain, but it's certainly showing Jensen to be in control at the moment. The Zor almost went nose first into the wall at the exit of turn number 5 as Kawe retires from the race, and we have another retirement. The Haas driver gets himself out of the race. Overspeed is going to get himself promoted to P11, and we have Diary, we have Videoton, we have Rat, as Videoton is very close to the Mercedes. Let's follow the battle between these two that might come up, but Rat is on his way to get his first points paying position at the end of a race this season. He got he got 3 DNFs and 3 11th places, or 11th place finishes. So it's going to be, unless he does a catastrophic mistake and loses what is about a lap to Overspeed, he could get himself a very respectable 8th place. Maybe Videoton wants to say something about that, as Overspeed gets a 3-second time penalty as he gets himself up to P11. But Videoton might have something to say about the 8th place going to Rat as we get through the second DRS zone. Of course, no DRS at this point, but Videoton goes later on the brakes and gets himself past the Mercedes. The Mercedes trying to answer though, but nothing he can do at the moment. Videoton getting a bit of a mistake there, and it's going to be interesting as Videoton gets a 5-second stop and go penalty for exceeding the track limits. Also Rat exceeding there on the exit of corner number 17. Let's see how it goes. They are side by side once again through turn number 18. Rat having to back out from any contact, and unless he's going to get a good exit, looks like he took a wider and a general better approach to the last corner. He might have a better exit into this straight. Let's go through the first corner. He surely seems close enough to try and do something. Videoton starts waving, which is quite dangerous in these circumstances, and I also don't think it's the most sportsman-like attitude, but that's what they opt to do. And Rat couldn't take advantage and get himself up to P8, so he's going to have to stay put in 9th place at the moment. Just has to keep his head down, just try to mind his business, mind his apexes, keep himself consistent, because Videoton hasn't been the driver with the best consistency overall in this race so far. Now, if you guys have been paying attention to the gaps, Zor has finally just dropped the gap between himself and the lead to less than 6 seconds for the first time since his half spin at exactly this corner Rat is navigating through right now. So Zor might still have something to say if he starts taking half a second, 1 second per lap on Jensen. I'm just wondering why Zor didn't do that while he was ahead of Jensen and while he was stuck on his gearbox for basically two-thirds of this race. But he's quick now and is really dropping the gap between himself and Jensen. He's going to follow on board with the French driver, so you guys can see what lines he uses, where he brakes, where he accelerates. Of course, there might be some slight desync because you are online. Oh my god, that's a bit of a moment there from Zor, as I'm sure he's happy that he was able to get through turn 4, but that's probably not the way he wanted to do that. Fortunately, he is on track. Unfortunately, he lost another 1.5 seconds to Jensen, so he's really not able to put up some lap times consistently. Scanning down the, oh my god, yeah, at the exact same spot Zor gets wide and he has to recover the car. Neitherweight might be breathing down the Frenchman's neck very soon if he keeps up with those mistakes. As we scan down the order, yeah, Neitherweight is just 2 seconds away from the Frenchman now. Zor is 13 seconds away, so I'm pretty sure that's game, set and match for Jensen. Of course, under these tricky circumstances, anyone can make mistakes, but yeah, as you guys can see, at least according to what we can see now, Jensen is going on for a quite easy win. BTEC has been closing in on Valu as well. Valu was rather close to Evil Kiwi, so I'm guessing the Finn of the Toro Rosso is going to get himself, got himself a mistake that allowed the Welsh driver to close in on the Finn. Zor got a 3-second time penalty. Neitherweight gets a 3-second time penalty. I swear to god, Neitherweight just had a massive opportunity to get second place at the end of the race. Again, I don't know how these guys are in terms of their penalty situation, but at least that would give a much better chance for Neudewitz to get second place, as Zor picked up that 3-second time penalty. Unfortunately, Neudewitz picked up one of his own right after that. Looks like he would rather try to overtake Zor on track to get himself second place. But yeah, Neudewitz has been having an amazing performance so far, as you have Vitek pressurizing Valu, a bit of indecisiveness regarding which side of the track the Toro Rosso driver was going to choose on the approach to turn 1. Valu got himself on the middle of the track. I think that's a bit of blocking there. Oh no, we have a safety car. Okay, I thought that was just a bit of blocking, but everyone is thrown up right now. A safety car is deployed. Zor must be breathing much better at the moment. I'm guessing his heart rate must be going down quite quickly, as he gets quite relieved to see the safety car being deployed. Overspeed is going for the pits. I don't know for what kind of tires though, but it is going to be a rather surprising, a rather exciting moment coming up right now, as everyone is going to get released in a couple laps time. God damn, I can't speak at the moment. I'm sorry, guys. God damn it, this has been such an amazing race, and my commentary, I've been bottling it. Jensen is going to the pits, maybe for a second set of full wet tires? I would guess so. It's raining very hard. This is the stormy set. Oh my god, a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car for Zor. What has the Frenchman done? That is so unfortunate. And he has been right up on pace with Jensen for the entire race. He dropped off because of mistakes. But Zor is going to get the lead, yes. Jensen picked up brand new tires. Neudewitz is also up to P2. But Zor is going to get himself back to the last place, because he, apart from Overspeed, who's a lap down, is going to just go to the back of the pack, because right as the race is going to restart, he's going to have to go on a drive-through penalty. So unfortunately for the Frenchman, is down. Neudewitz has 6 laps old full wets compared to Jensen's brand new tires. Of course, Jensen has also been quicker the entire weekend compared to the Singaporean, but he's the only one who can stop him. Neudewitz is going to get the lead as we get released for the restart of the race, and Jensen is going to attack him on fresher tires. Again, we don't know how much fuel these guys have still available to them, but look at the conditions. This race, I'm so... The game doesn't have a red flag system implemented, but otherwise we would have a cancellation of the race, I'm sure. Look at how hard it is raining right now, and I'm sorry, I was just managing some other windows on my second monitor, forgot it would pause the game. But as you guys can see, look at these conditions. These are, for those of you who never got them, these are the stormy conditions. This is the hardest rain you can get in F1 2018. And yeah, this is... I feel bad for these drivers who probably practiced the entire week dry weather racing, and now they come here and have to face... They only got dry weather through the entire qualifying and the first 3 laps of the race, because at about lap 3 it started to rain, and it started to rain quite hard. Evil Kiwi though, he has a chance of redemption. He's on the back of Black Reverse, who's down to P4. He's going to inherit P3 as Zor is going to eventually get down for a safety car. We also have, of course, so yeah, Black Reverse is going to jump to P3, but Evil Kiwi is going to try to get damage reduction, if that's a term I can use, just damage control, because he hasn't been as quick as Jensen on this race, especially not on these wet circumstances. But Evil Kiwi, we know his talent, we know he has what it takes to get past Black Reverse and get third place at the end. But of course, everything can happen under these circumstances. We saw the safety car get deployed. We've seen the mistakes Zor has made. We've seen the mistakes JJS has made. We've seen the mistake Evil Kiwi himself did through the 14-15 corners combination. So yeah, of course we have a very low grip surface on this track. The amount of water that is standing on this track is absolutely insane. But if someone that can pull it off is Jensen. Jensen has been very composed. This car, I've never seen him get even sideways on any corner. I've been following a lot Zor as he was right on the gearbox of the Dane. But that Williams driver has been very composed. Maybe he was preparing for the rain, maybe he just practiced a lot the rain, or maybe he's just feeling comfortable at the moment, or maybe it's just his driving technique that allows him to stay composed this way, but he has not put a wheel wrong this entire race weekend. He got himself pole. I believe he got a bit of a collaboration maneuver with his teammate, which again is allowed, but he got himself pole by less than a second. And after that, he managed to keep Evil Kiwi off of him into turn 1, because of course the run down into turn 1 is so long that the people on the second row of the grid might have a chance of slipstreaming past the leaders. And he managed to hold that off as well. The only moment where he wasn't leading this race was under the safety car. We went from intermediates to full wet, and the Williams team worked slower than the McLaren team and got Zor past Jensen. But other than that, it has been an amazing masterclass from Jensen, an amazing race from him as he sees Zor ahead of the safety car. I don't know if that's lag from me, as looks like the order of the pack has normalized, but I wouldn't, any advice for these drivers would be to not stay behind their opponents, directly behind them under the safety car, and especially Zor, do not stay behind the safety car like this, because you can always lag into him, and that's an automatic disqualification. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take until the safety car is going to get in. We haven't got any message from the what's the name, from race control. So as we are waiting for the race to get back underway, we are going to update you guys on the championship standings. As you guys can see, Jensen is starting this race 3 points ahead of Evil Kiwi. Neitherweight is quite far behind, but he's the best of the rest, I would say. He didn't take part of his own Grand Prix at Singapore, but he's coming back with a very possible podium finish. So that's very good for him to come back and try to pull away from Black Reverse and from the others. So just getting ourselves back to what matters. Of course, going to take a look at that. Severe collision with BTX Sim Racer from Videoton, and he gets a 5-second stop and go penalty. He retires from the race. Maybe he got damaged there. He retires from the race and overspeeds despite being a lap down. He's going to get himself 10th place. So as you guys can see right now, every one of the finishing drivers of this race are going to get a point. So Rat has absolutely no excuse, as we have safety car in this lap, as we get informed from race control. And yes, Lucian, I agree with you guys. Who do you guys think is going to win the race? Of course, Zor might do this lap leading the pack, but then he's going to have to serve his drive-through penalty. But let me know, guys, who do you guys think is going to be winning this race? Do you think it will be Jensen? Do you think Neitherweight will be able to hold up Jensen despite the tire wear difference on those blue walled ultra softs? I don't know. Hopefully you guys let me know what you guys think. All we know is that Evil Kiwi got a 5-second stop and go for exceeding the track limits as we get on the restart. Jensen got falling asleep. Evil Kiwi is trying to pick up any piece of Black Reverse. Is up to P3. What a start! Everything is already kicking up loose at the moment. It's side by side between the championship contenders. We have Black Reverse going sideways, and he's in the wall. Evil Kiwi is in the wall. There's an absolute pile up at the exit of turn number 2. Let's take a look at that. Jensen gets out unscathed. Zor is leading Nordrate in P3, Valo in P4, Black reverse P5, Diary in the second, Force India get himself up to P6. Then we have P-Tech Sim Racer Rat in 8 and Evil Kiwi in 9th, as Videoton is going to get a point despite not finishing the race. Oh my god, what a race this has been. I believe there was maybe contact between Evil Kiwi and Black Reverse, or Black Reverse just lost the rear through turn 1 and had to slow down, and by slowing down Evil Kiwi bumped him, and that caused everything to break loose as Noiderate made some mistake through turn number 8. I believe this is. Jensen goes past and takes the lead of the race. This is exactly what Zor needed. Zor is going to serve his drive-through penalty and basically come out possibly ahead of Black Reverse, or at least behind Diary. It's going to be interesting to see how that one goes. Diary made the same move as Valu and Jensen. They got themselves brand new full wet tires, so they might have a pace advantage, or at least a grip advantage, compared to the other cars who did not pit, but it's certainly interesting to see how that one goes. As we have Evil Kiwi in 9th, and it is the first time this season we have Evil Kiwi getting beaten by a teammate. This is the first time this season Evil Kiwi is not going to finish a race in the podium paying positions. This is what a turn of events we've seen today. Jensen got himself up, Valdo got past Noiderate to P3, Black Reverse is in 5th, he's going to the pits, Dario is going to the pits. Zor did not serve his drive-through penalty, but he's going to F2 rather soon. I am expecting that he's going to do so at the end of this lap. We have a Black Reverse, Diary, and B-Tech Sim Racer, of course, unfortunately for them, unfortunately for Diary, is going to get the second driver treatment, and he's not, looks like he also got a stop and go penalty on his name, so Diary is going to get relegated to the back of the pack. Evil Kill, no, sorry, it was B-Tech Sim Racer gets himself behind Black Reverse, so not all is lost for the Force India driver. Evil Kiwi, I don't think he pitted though. I'm going to try to take a look at his front wing, and oh my god, the amount of front wing elements he's missing there. I am not sure how he's able to come up to Rat as it smashes into the wall. I don't know if you guys noticed that. And I don't know how Rat isn't out of the Grand Prix, but through turn number 6, he just slammed into the left side wall. Wow, he got a massive front wing damage on the right side of his front wing, but he hits the wall with the left side that time. But yeah, I'm really not sure how Evil Kiwi is able to. This is not reduced damage. It's not simulation, but it's not reduced. I don't think, at least. So yeah, I'm not sure how Evil Kiwi is able to get himself at the moment, as Zor is finally going to serve his drive-through penalty. He's going to get himself in the top 5 still, so for him this is amazing. Everyone just committed suicide behind him, and he's going to get himself out of the pits in 4th place. Look at that, Evil Kiwi overtook Rat and is going to get back, at least he's going to get back to where he was before the start, or before the restart. He was in 5th place, he's back to 5th place. Unfortunately for him, Jensen is now the leader of the race. Valu in P2 already pulling away. We have Noiderate in P3, losing a bit of time to the Finn, as we have Rats trying to come back at Evil Kiwi, and he goes around the outside. Quite good maneuver there, but Kiwi is not going to give up. He's going to break later into turn number 4 and retakes 5th place from the Mercedes driver, and is going to be firmly on that 5th place at least for now. Moving to Noiderate, let's see, he's going to try to hold on to this 3rd place. Again, no idea about the penalty situation of these drivers, but I am pretty sure they are going to they are going to have the penalties play a card at the final results. Let's see how it does. At least from now, Neuderath doesn't look the most comfortable out there on the rain since the safety car. As you guys can see, Valo and Jensen have a 6th place or a 6 lap difference. There you have it. Jensen, I didn't even notice that, I apologize, but Jensen crosses over the line to take home the win of this Russian Grand Prix. I absolutely bottled that, I apologize for that one. As Valo crosses on the line in P2, Neuderath P3, Zor is going to come home in P4, Hivil Kiwi is going to get a P5 at the end of this. Rat is going to get, in the first time of his WCR career, is going to get himself points paint position. For the first time, Rat is getting the Mercedes on a points paint position. He finally broke the 11th place curse. He has been finishing 11th for a while. He finally broke that curse and got himself up to P7. BTEC Sim Racer crossing over the line in 6th, I believe. Some guys got demoted from penalties. Black Reverse in 8th, and it's going to be Diary through the last couple corners, and it's going to close the finishing pack in 9th, as Videoton, I believe, despite the NFing, is going to get a point from getting last place. Ooh, wow, what a chaotic race. So we're going to get through the podiums now, as we're going to get once again. It is the first time since when? It is the first time since Germany we see the Dane of the Williams on the top step of the podium. So he did not take part of Hungary, did not take part of Belgium, got second at Italy, second at Singapore, and it is the first time since Germany that is going to take the win. The Dane gets back on the winning column and is going to extend massively the gap to the Toro Rosso driver, who didn't even finish on the podium. So the Czech driver is going to have some work to do in the final couple races if he wants to bring it back to Jensen at the end of the season. For now, we have the Dane on the top step of the podium, side by side with Valo and Neuderath, who comes back after missing his home Grand Prix. The Singaporean comes back strong with a 3rd place finish and consolidates his 3rd place on the standings. Now everyone is going to get through their loading procedures, and we are going to oh, what? It jumped the final results. I don't have a final results screen. Well, I'm sorry about that, guys. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but I don't get a final results screen. Hopefully, everybody else got a final results screen, because I'm going to have to edit the tables at the end of this. I would like to know the order of the finishing positions. I mean, I guess I can just go to the final laps and see the order from there, but again, that would be a more comfortable way of doing it. But this is it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like button. If you did not, the dislike button is, as always, right beside it. Subscribe if you like to see more. Hit the bell icon for any notifications of whenever I'm about to start a live stream or to post a video. Hope to see you guys next time, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.